Hi guys, my name is Naomi Grace. Now the title of this video is God is Calling, Will You Answer? My parents were Christians and I could say that I grew up in a Christian household, and the word Christian evokes a lot of ideas in your mind. Maybe you think of religion, maybe you think of going to church and abiding by a set of rules. Maybe you think Christians are people that are boring and they just decide to go to church and they decide not to do the things that are fun, like maybe going out and clubbing and all those things. And that's the kind of person I was. I had a confession, that I was a Christian. And in my life, that it helped me to an extent. But when I left my family home, when I went to university, I thought to myself, what's so bad about going out and doing what I want to do? Living the life I personally want to live. And that was a life of having fun with my friends, going out, drinking, partying, the lifestyle that is so attractive to this world. And that's what I did, and I didn't actually feel in essence that there was anything wrong with that at the time. But when I'd go home, or when I'd wake up in the morning with a hangover, I think to myself, was that really worth it? And I'd have this emptiness, like a deep, I can't really describe it, but it's like a deep emptiness inside where I did not feel fulfilled. I did not know where my purpose was or what I was doing with my life. And there were points in my life where I know that God was calling me and I did not answer. There were points where I could feel that conviction of, wait a minute, this what I'm doing is destroying me. It's hurting me and it's hurting others. But I ignored it and I carried on. Isaiah 65. All day long I opened my arms to a rebellious people, but they follow their own paths, their own evil paths and their own crooked schemes. All day long they insult me to my face by worshipping idols in the sacred gardens. For when I called, you did not answer. When I spoke, you did not listen. You deliberately sinned before my very eyes and chose to do what you know I despise. I as God despise. And very recently I came to a point where I was doing things that were really hurting me inside and that were hurting people around me. And I couldn't stop. However hard I tried, I had the will to change. I wanted to stop sinning. I wanted to change. I knew that God was real, but I didn't really know Him for myself. And so I had that desire to change my life, and I tried hard. But everything I tried, I failed miserably. I came to a crisis point where I said to God, God, I'm helpless. I can't do what you're asking me to do. It feels impossible. And to cut a long story short, instead of praying to stop doing the wrong things I was doing, I started asking God, Lord, change my heart. What He's calling us to is repentance. Repentance is an act of realizing what you are doing is sin. What you are doing is wrong. It's against God. It's something that God would not be pleased with. It's realizing that in your heart and making a decision to turn away from that and to stop doing it. Jesus said in the Bible, go and sin no more. That is the essence of repentance. You may say to yourself, okay, I've asked God for forgiveness for things that I've done, and I can't stop doing things that I know are not right. I just want to stop you there. The act of confessing your sin is not repentance. That's a confession, okay? Repentance is where you stop sinning, you stop doing that thing that you know is wrong repetitively. You're no longer in a repetitive habit of doing something that you know to be wrong. Now God is calling us to turn away. God is saying, turn away from your sin and turn yourself over to me, over to God, and I will set you free. It says in Psalm 51, give me a new heart, purify my heart, renew a steadfast and loyal spirit within me. That's what King David prayed in Psalm 51, if you'd like to check it. For 2 weeks I was praying that every day, because I was determined to find the truth. I said to myself, if God exists, I'm going to find him, I'm going to know him, because I can't live like this anymore. And it's very, very subtly, I started seeing changes happening in my life. Things that I was desiring, I no longer desired. I had no longer a desire to drink excessively. I had no longer a desire to do things that hurt other people or live in a selfish way. My desires were replaced. You know, whereas before, I did not want to open this Bible. Like, I was a Christian, but the amount of times I opened this Bible, I could count maybe on 2 hands, you know, over the course of years. I did not want to open it. I thought, how is this Bible relevant to my life? It's such an old book, I can't even understand it. But after I was praying this prayer, I felt in my heart a desire to open it, to find out what God has to say about me, about my life, about this world. And as I did, I had an encounter with Jesus, the real Jesus. As I worshipped him, I felt a peace and a love come over my heart. You know, and God showed me an aspect of himself that ever since then my life has been changing. So why am I doing this? Like, why am I sharing this? The reason is because it's the same for you. God is calling you. He's calling you to repentance, to transform your life, to give you a new heart, to show you who you are and the purpose for which He's made you, the purpose of why you're created. If you want to know that God that loves you so much, all you have to do is pray. Just go somewhere on your own and pray. Say, God, I hear your call and I'm answering you. Change my heart. Come into my heart. Reveal yourself to me. That's all you have to pray. Purify me. That's it.